Mission CAT 2023. Suppose I'm thinking about CAT 2023. What should I do? What should be my broad plan? What should be my priorities? Where should I begin? When should I begin? Do I really need coaching? We're going to explore a bunch of these questions. And so it helps to go with a structure. So what is CAT all about? Most of the MBA exams, not just CAT, test basic math, basic verbal. Several of them test basic logical reasoning, which is just puzzle solving. So it's not rocket science. The syllabus for this exam is super straightforward. Most cases, the syllabus covered is basic math, which is class 8, 9, 10 math. There's going to be nothing from differential calculus, nothing from vector algebra, nothing from high funda trigonometry, nothing at all. The golden rule: if you have a good class 10 student, he or she should score 99.9 percentile in this exam. So it's what is it about? Basic math, basic English, and some puzzle solving. The syllabus is very straightforward. What is tricky is the competition. There are about 2 lakh people who take this exam. You need to be in the top 10% to get to a good seat. Top 1% if you want really the fantastic seats. So if you have to be at that level, you should not only know the fundamentals, your speed and your intensity should be high. You should do a bunch of mocks and practice and be game ready. So all those other elements come into play because of the competitive pressure. Right? Where to begin? This is a very super question. Where to begin? For each of the sections, start from absolute fundamentals, from absolute basics. So learning quant, learn from simple arithmetic, learn percentages, learn ratios, learn proportion, learn linear equation, learn averages, simple topics, and learn without bypassing fundamentals. Learn averages, where you learn average of 2 numbers is a plus b by 2. For verbal, build the reading habit. You should read tons of books, tons of magazines, tons of blogs, so that when you see some new content, your brain can automatically process printed content. That's a super differentiating skill set for life. Where you work, it doesn't matter. If you can take content in printed form, process it, make it simple in your head, and communicate clearly, you're going places. And so processing printed text is going to be the most crucial skill set. And the CAT is one way of amping that up. So build a reading habit. Logical reasoning in the DI section, the data interpretation logical reasoning section, that's a little tricky. For that section, you can learn fundamental simple problems of data interpretation and logical reasoning and then build up from there. But I, quite slightly counterintuitively, will strongly recommend that you look at maybe some previous year CAT puzzle, 4 or 5 of them, to get a hang of what this is about. I can go to town describing the different types and seating arrangement and puzzle and mathematics and Venn diagram and all of them. Nothing competes with seeing 4 puzzles for yourself. And then you'll get a sense of, oh, this is how the questions are. It is super important for that, because typically what we learn in terms of data interpretation or logical reasoning and what the CAT has been testing in the last 5-6 years have been very different. So I don't want there to be too much time spent doing random stuff which is not relevant to the exam without getting a flavor for what the exam contains. For quant, go from basics, start from simple topic. For verbal, build the reading habit. For logical reasoning and data interpretation, go through 4 sample puzzles before you do anything else. Okay? Any good practices? This is a holy grail, right? What should I cultivate in myself? And so discipline is super important. Having a certain schedule is super important. Saying, look, I'm committing to 10 hours per week from now till next November. That is super important. You can amp it up in the last 3-4 months, but don't commit to a 25-hour per week schedule, which is going to result in a burnout. And so 10 hours per week for 6-7 months can take you places. So plan with a clear schedule and beautiful discipline. You've got to say, no matter what happened, I'm going to do my 10 hours every week. Remember, when you're signing up for a long session, there are going to be spells where you miss your target, where your performance is not going where you thought it would go, where your month-on-month scores are not gently improving but yo-yoing, where your motivation deserts you, where you feel dispirited because you've done a lot of effort, but the one mock you took, you got 40th percentile, and that's not going to give you anything. The most important and absolutely essential skill set you would put in this good practices is the ability to bounce back, ability to keep at it when results are not seen. Going to be long spells where you're doing all the right things, but none of the outcome metrics are really moving. Your reading speed is not going up. Your accuracy is not going up. You don't feel like you can approach any question in quant. Your logical reasoning, puzzle solving is not amped up that it will clear cutoff. Nothing seems to be falling in place, but you're doing all the right things. Have the confidence, grit through it. it will go. There are going to be spells in your preparation, especially if you're signing up for a 15-month drill, where in a 2-month, 3-month phase, it is dispiriting, and your intensity, your number of hours you put in, what you commit to doing, your discipline, everything falls. The ability to pick yourself back again is a super crucial, important practice. And so the good practice thing, I would put discipline right up there, but ability to bounce back ability is even higher up. Because discipline is too high a bar, at least for me. But being relentless and keeping on coming back at it over and over again, that I can sign up for. Somebody says every day 6 to 7:30, Rajesh, you must do. Ye to karna hi hai. I know that I'll last 4 days or 5 days, then I'm going to have something else that comes up, and I'm a momentum guy. One day I can do 5-6 hours and take everything in, and 3 days I'll watch sitcoms. You can afford to be that guy if you pick yourself up every time there's a setback. So I'm relentless. I can bounce back over and over again, no matter if things are not going well. At that bit, it doesn't have to be super disciplined. Do we need coaching? Simple answer, no. The syllabus is simple. The freely available material, there are tons of it. So if you look at the 2IIM website and our YouTube channel, every single CAT question that's freely available, the last 12 papers are there with detailed video solutions. Beyond this, we have a question bank that has 400, 500 questions. YouTube is a treasure trove of fabulous content for each topic. And so why am I saying all this? I run a coaching center, right? I run a coaching gig. Why should I say nobody needs coaching? I'm not saying nobody needs coaching. Some people can get away without coaching. And so when do you need coaching? What does coaching provide that freely available content does not provide? One is it provides a schedule, a theme, a place to go for, somebody to give you some guidance, mentorship. That's important. Two, more importantly, it provides a certain structure to your preparation. The search cost of preparing without coaching is very high. You can get beautiful content on linear equation. You can get wonderful content on trigonometry. But chances are the beautiful video you found on YouTube on trigonometry is wonderful, but goes on for 7 hours. And the 4 hours of that is not relevant for CAT. And you spend 3 hours digging these out to create a playlist. Whereas if you go to the right platform, then trigonometry is in a bite-sized pack of 3 hours with practice tests to tell you where you stand, something to consolidate whatever you have learned, and a bunch of tests to amp up your intensity. So if you sometimes you just don't have the money, you can't afford whatever the price ticket is, then you can go to YouTube, you can go to different places, find out the entire syllabus, carve out different playlists for yourself, create a schedule for yourself, stick to it. Basically saying, I'm going to spend slightly more time scrounging for my material and save up money. But if you sign up for a good coaching, then the what you would save in time very often more than sufficiently pays off for the money you've spent. So the search cost is high. The structure to the preparation is super important. And so, which is why I'm a big fan of saying, anytime you're signing up for a course, go try out that course. See if the structure makes sense. See if the pattern makes sense. See if you can see yourself learning from that place. And if that happens, then several other things just automatically fall in place. So that shift of, hey, I'm comfortable here, that is super important. Which kind of neatly brings me to the last part. CAT preparation is super fun. We're all in this too because you're preparing with an objective. You want to go into an IIM. You want to join a great B school. You want a wonderful career after that. All those are important. But the more and more we frame it in our own heads based on the outcomes, the more vulnerable we are to one stress, to getting disappointed with every pitfall. And you're going to amp up your numeric ability. Nice, what not to like. And so I'm on the wrong side of 40. If I do a bunch of math questions that are challenging, I quite enjoy myself. It can put a smile on my face and I feel like, look, half an hour well spent. I'm not saying you should enjoy math as much as I do, but I'm just saying it's not a crime. And you read a couple of good articles, you read a good novel, you're in touch with the news because you're reading good websites and you learn lots about the things happening in the world, and it's an absolute no-brainer. You're automatically preparing for verbal, you'll go places just on the back of it. Solving puzzles so that your kind of lateral thinking ability or out of the box thinking ability improves, definite plus. So each section is going to add something to the way your brain operates, the way your intellectual engine is revved up, the way your general knowledge and awareness is revved up, the way you become more articulate. As a package, the CAT preparation journey is compellingly useful even without CAT. At the end of it, you're going to give yourself a chance and say, look, I'm going to write this exam. Let's see where the cards fall. There are absolutely no guarantees in this exam. So it's a competitive exam. So I know several students who are excellent, but on the day it didn't fall for them. They're going to prepare it one more time. So it can happen. So if you frame it as completely an objective, final tick mark driven thing, they are vulnerable to being disappointed with every shift, every bit of volatility. So frame it as, look, I'm going to equip myself. I'm going to become sharper. I'm going to become more articulate. I'm going to know more about the world. What's not to like. And so sign up for the journey. Check out our own course at 2IIM. Tons of stuff available for validating and checking us out. Best wishes for Ken.